Hola. So, I wanted to make a video on some stuff that I've been seeing that I wanted to talk about regarding the squat. And I'm making this video because I've been working out in a gym recently when I haven't been doing that for a year. So, I'm back in that space. And being a coach for so long, you kind of forget, and especially not in the gym space, then you go to a gym and you're like, oh, these things are still happening. um, I'm seeing things that I thought like didn't exist anymore, that people weren't doing, and they still are. And so obviously there is a need for more sharing of like education and the reason why, and just to help, you know, share what I know with all of you who may not know, and not to judge anybody, not to say that if you're doing this, like it's bad or you're bad or anything like that. It's just to kind of shed some light on some misinformation and hopefully to help you move better, because at the end of the day, that's what I want to do. I want to help you move better. I want to share information that could help you move better. I want to inspire and motivate and uplift and educate as best as I possibly can. So, one of the things that I have seen like a lot is people squatting, and this is barbell squat predominantly, but I have seen it, goblet squats and other things like that, but predominantly barbell squat, which is when you had the barbell on your back. And so I've been seeing a lot of people squat with like running shoes or athletic shoes, walking shoes, what have you. So I'm using my running shoes for example. So running shoes are made for running. There's like, all the like the athletic type shoes are usually gonna be made with a really thick sole, especially the heel. You even have stuff over here like on the ball of your foot, and especially running shoes, like they're made to help you like run with your gait. So going to squat in something like this could like not help your form and kind of put you in a position for you to injure yourself because of all the extra padding and all the extra positioning that the shoe is putting your foot and therefore your body, your joint, everything else in when you're wearing these. And I don't think this is anybody's like fault. I just think, oh, like I'm gonna learn how to squat, like here I go, like I'm gonna squat in the shoes that I work out with or that I walk in or that I run in. And you may not know that like those could be hindering your squat form and the way that your squat's feeling, the way that you're able to lift, and could potentially lead to injury, which is what I want to avoid for anyone who is squatting, and anyone who watches this video. So reason being is all of this padding. So there's like an inch or so of padding on shoes like this. Some of them I've seen people squatting like the Hoka shoes. I think that's how you pronounce it. But with really big heel padding and sole padding, or just sole padding. And so not only is it going to put your body, your foot, the rest of you in a different position, it's also going to take away from you feeling the ground. And when I teach a squat to any clients, I'm always talking about putting 3 points of contact on the ground. So you want your big toe, you want your little toe, and your heel on the ground at all time when you're squatting. So, and if you have a shoe like that, it's hard to put yourself in that position because you're elevated like this. You can't feel the ground with this much padding, and you're curved up forward because these are running shoes or walking shoes. And it's harder for you to do that because then you might end up doing this in your shoe, like, and adding additional movement to your squat where you should be stable and steady. And so if this is something that you are doing, an easy way to change it is to squat in shoes that don't have that big of a sole. You can take off your shoes and squat in socks if that's available to you, and you feel comfortable enough doing that. It's always like helpful to do it at your house first to kind of like get a feel of it, of course. And then, if again available, buying shoes that are have less of a heel, less padding on the heel. So I have 3 different shoes that I have squatted in. Some I've competed in, some I work out in now to do barbell stuff. So these are my newest pair, and they're a wide toe shoe. They do have a little bit more padding and sole than I normally have used, but there hasn't been too much of an issue because they're flat. It's not too much of, excuse my dogs. All right, I think they're taken care of. But anyways, so going back to the shoes, these ones don't have that much of a sole. Like the sole is much less than in comparison to these. So I'm able to feel the floor a lot more in these compared to these over here. And again, like I'm not doing too heavy of lifting right now, if at all. So those ones are different than what I used when I was powerlifting. So when I was powerlifting, I started lifting in Chuck Taylors and Converse. These were my actual competition shoes. You can see the donut. They had to match my tattoo. But these, there is very little. If you have a pair of these and you've tried to walk long distances in these, it's awful because like there's no support whatsoever. It's just the sole of the shoe. And yeah, so this is what I predominantly competed in, squatted heavy in, did all that for years. And it worked out really well because I was able to feel the floor through this. Big problem with these, at least for me and for those of you who have wide feet, is they're not very wide at all. So there was a little bit of like discomfort with that. Now, the other shoe that I used to compete in, and this is what I competed in my last ones, and what I will probably always use whenever I compete or lift heavy, is wrestling shoes. I love these shoes. They're comfortable, they fit to your feet, and they're, again, very little padding. Also like a wider toe box, which is nicer for those of us with wider feet, and you're able to grip the floor. You're able to get those 3 points of contact, like I was saying. And so I've seen some people use Vans. I don't like them because they're very narrow. But I think Chuck Taylors, or anything that you can get those like at Payless, or, you know, any sort of shoe store that has similar to that. Or take off your shoes and just squat in your socks. That's always nice to do as well. But if you have any other questions regarding this, let me know. I may also do a video on, I probably am going to do a video showing you the difference on a squat, what it looks like in like a running shoe versus a flat soled shoe, and some other things that I had seen in the gym that I also wanted to bring up. But if you have any questions thus far on this, let me know and I'll be happy to help. Oh my gosh, my cat is moving my little camera tower. Sorry. Hope it helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Adios.